It's a good day for a good day. Hello, everybody. My name's Cece Ray. Thanks for joining me here at Break the Dish, where we break the news and dish out the tea. We are recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17, Episode 17. They had 17 episodes this season. Wow. This was the finale. Yeah, kind of fell flat for me, to be quite honest. But before we get into it, you know what to do. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because here we break the dish. We are recapping the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 17, Episode 17. This was the finale, and I'm not really into it, to be quite honest. What do you guys think? I mean, it really did fall flat for me. It opened up with Porsha's naked hair photo shoot. You know, it's Cynthia and Drew and Porsha. All the ladies look wonderful, by the way. I mean, they really did look beautiful in this photo shoot. We see K. Michelle. She is, gearing up for her release party of her country album. Then we see Shamea, Pinky, and K. Michelle, and they're all taking the kids to kind of like a pumpkin patch, almost like one of those children's haunted trails. You know what I'm saying? So after they walk through and everything, and kids are bouncing up and down, of course, now they're going to have time for a conversation. They were talking about Shamea's party, her rum bum party. And they're talking, number one, about Drew. Now, remember, she was with Terry. They were dressed as like Beyonce and Jay-Z. And for some reason, he brought a horse to her. It was weird. I mean, I got to give you, it was really weird. But anyway, Shamea is saying that her HOA actually fined her $2,200 because there was horse poop everywhere. And then they're talking about the whole thing with Angela, saying that Shamea slept with George. Listen. If you haven't seen this episode, make sure you see it. I have to tell you, George looked like he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. You know what I mean? I mean, his wife didn't know anything. Him, however, when he got confronted, he was kind of like, yeah, I did say I paid her, but I'm kind of out of here. Seriously? I really felt like there was an uh-oh there. You know what I mean? Plus, you know what I find kind of interesting is right before the reunion, Shamea slapped Angela with a cease and desist. Now, why would you do that if you have nothing to talk about? I'm just saying. Think about it. But this is what the three of them are talking about. And how basically, Drew was there saying, oh, Angela's vindicated. I mean, she kind of was a little vindicated, but I have to tell you, George, get your story straight. He really acted like he got his hand caught in the cookie jar. I'm just saying. Now we see Drew. She's looking for a home to live in. She's not quite sure how the court case is going to turn out, even though we do find out how this court case turned out. But so her and her mom are looking around, and you can really see this is really weighing on Drew. She's not quite sure how this is going to turn out, and she should be worried now that we know how everything went down, which we will get into. We see Phaedra with Kelly. Kelly comes in to speak with Phaedra and all the other attorneys. about her court case against her ex-husband. Remember, like, she has custodial rights, full. You know what I'm saying, of all her girls. However, he's not allowing her to film with them. And that kind of does affect her money in a way because she's supposed to be showing her life and she can't show any part of that because he's refusing to allow her to film with the kids. So this is what they are getting ready to go into court for. It was so funny too because after they, met with the attorneys, Phaedra goes, "Look, I have a little gift for you." And Kelly pulls out this bra because she never wears a bra. And she's like, "Okay, I'll put this on for you if we win." And Phaedra turns around and is like, "No, I need you to put it on so we will win." It's kind of funny. Then we see that Drew is having a surprise party for Mama J. That's her mother. They rented an Airbnb for this because Ralph said, no party. And her mom seems like she's just having a blast at this party. And there's a lot of people there, a lot of her family. Porsha comes, Angela is there, Phaedra arrives. So they all sit down. They're kind of taking the mickey out of the fact that Drew had her date Terry, as Phaedra puts it, the Team Moo Jay-Z. And this horse situation. Now, half the cast was like, "Oh, she knew all about this." I don't know if she knew about it or not. It's really weird, to be quite honest. She didn't even know if it was like a gift, if it was a rental. Like, she had no idea about this horse. So she's saying to the women, like, "Okay, I'm done with this person." She has Black coming to surprise her mom for her birthday. And Dr. Ken was there. Now listen to this. Do you remember Dr. Ken? He's like the therapist he was Porsha's therapist years ago. And I think maybe even Phaedra's therapist. Like, he's been therapist for all different housewives, okay? He comes down to the ladies to say hello. And let me tell you something. He's like hugging Phaedra. It was awkward. Like, I felt icky watching this hug. And everybody else there is like, what the heck's going on between these two? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was weird. You have to see it. If you haven't seen it, make sure you see it. It is bizarre. Then we see Shamea meeting with her surrogate. Her name's Daphne. She seems like a lovely woman. Anybody who is a surrogate for somebody, they have a special place in heaven. Seriously. I truly believe that. Shamea's talking with her. This is the first time Gerald apparently is meeting her. And she's talking to Daphne about her journey. She had 4 male embryos that did not take. They're on their last one. And this is a true journey for Shamea. They should have opened this up, I think, a little bit more for her storyline because she's not a good housewife at all. I mean, she really isn't. That's just my opinion. I'm just saying. She always plays the victim. And even in this conversation with her surrogate, she somehow pulls in, because I think the surrogate says, "I do see a light," like being positive about this egg retrieval. And there goes Shamea playing the victim. And somehow she brings in her friends and how they don't think she has a light and they think she's dark. Like, I'm over the whole Shamea's a victim baloney. Like, I really am. Like, I'm done with it. Like, can we please move on? I'm just saying. Then we go to Porsha's house is the next scene, and it is with Sway. And, the thing is that these two make such a good couple. They really do. Sway comes over and she's like, "Look, I need to know where we stand. Like, I don't like being in a triangle." Because remember, Porsha's been dating Mike, too. And then in Porsha's confessional, basically she's saying, she's always gone from one husband to another. This time she wanted to date with intention. She wanted to really give herself time. But when she was on a double date with Mike, he came out with the L word. Mm-hmm. And that scared the crap out of Porsha. So she chose Sway. And they've been going strong. I think they are together now, 8 months? I just saw TikTok with Sway. They are such a good couple. So I'm so glad. Give her a round of applause. They seem so happy, and I'm happy for Porsha. Then the next scene, we see Angela. She is having dinner with all her children and her husband, and of course, Amara is there, her oldest daughter. And we do find out, and I'm glad this was clarified, Angela was not against the fact that her daughter married a woman. She was upset with the fact that they kind of did it on the down low, and Angela was not involved in the wedding. Also because they were so young, and she was concerned because marriage is hard. So we find this all out that her daughter says, "Listen, I was secretive because I wanted to prove you wrong, and I wanted to prove myself right. But you were right." And Angela says, "Look, I didn't want to be right. I just wanted you to be happy. And with your children, that's all you want, is for your children to be happy. You know what I mean? Marriage is hard, and you want to make sure you have the right person. Plus, I think as a parent, you're not telling them what to do. You just want to give them advice and look over them. And, I would be devastated if one of my kids got married on the down low and I wasn't involved. That would kill me. So I totally get where, Angela's coming from. So now it's K. Michelle's listening party. All the ladies are there, including Cynthia. Everybody looks beautiful. K. Michelle's gorgeous. And she decides to sing a few songs. How smart that she dropped her album July 31st, like right when this aired, almost. Very smart. And from what I understand, it's doing very well. Listen, I've always liked K. Michelle's music, and I love her as a country singer. I really do. But she tells the audience that, these women have, changed her life. And I truly believe that she meant that. She has each one of the women singing with her on the VSOP song. And when it comes to Drew, she does it with Drew. And, Drew says on the microphone, I love you. And K. Michelle's like, I love you too. And they hug. And remember, I think it was in Scotland where they kind of resolved everything. So it was confusing when this was all finished that Drew came out with, "You were in touch with Black, and I've got the text messages to prove it." What are you doing? It was almost like Drew was like trying to put a last hurrah in before the season ended. It was weird. It was really weird. And then she falls. Oh my God. And then comes out saying like she was pushed. I mean, even Porsha was like, "Oh no, girl, like your pants are a little long there." Like she didn't even believe it. You know what I mean? But that was the end of the episode. Then of course, we get, where they are now as of when they edited this show. And Phaedra is still the Godfather of Atlanta. I find that funny. You know what I mean? Because that's all they had to say. I mean, she had like nothing going on, which is really weird. It kind of also represented how she was all season. She was just kind of there, kind of like pushing the ladies forward, but that was about it. I think Cynthia actually brought more than Phaedra did, and Cynthia's a friend of. Just saying. Pinky did wind up filing Chapter 11, and from the trailer, we find out Pinky is pregnant. Congratulations, Pinky. We find out that Shamea's rum bum, her rum company, was a big bum. So now her and her husband are getting ready to launch a perfume line. This chick, she's like all over the place. How many companies are you going to start? We do find out that they had found out that the pregnancy took. For her sake, I really hope that this is a successful pregnancy and they have a baby soon. I really hope for Shamea's sake. However, Shamea as a housewife, I don't like her as a housewife. Listen, you're never going to like every housewife, right? There's just ones there where you're like, I don't really like this person. Shamea's just not a good housewife. I mean, she confuses everybody. We saw in the trailer for the reunion. I mean, the trailer for the reunion looks better than what the finale was, for sure. I mean, K. Michelle has a problem with Shamea. I mean, K. Michelle comes out and was like, your mama is in this hookah lounge, like basically preaching the gospel out one side of her mouth and then calling Porsha a Jezebel on the other. Like she brought her mom into everything. She brought Porsha's mom into it this season. And that conversation in Scotland, you have to remember, it started with, Dennis telling Gerald that Porsha won't allow Pilar over their home. And basically, why not? Because it's not fair to the girls. And Porsha's explaining that, look, I don't want my daughter going over to someone's house that has bad intentions towards me. It came from that conversation to your mother tried to sleep with my dad. And then Porsha, who had probably, I don't think Porsha saw this on the radar. The whole cast didn't. And then Porsha comes back with, yeah, you know what? I did hear that. And I went back to my mother, and my mother was flabbergasted because the real truth is that your mother slept with your father's brother. Now, don't think that's going to be talked about at the reunion. I'm looking forward to that. Plus, there was a lot of tweets running on this on social media. You have Angela. She's launching her Fangy line, her fan. It was so funny, too, because at the finale, she had like prototypes that she was giving the ladies. And the one prototype, it got caught in Portia's hair. And Angela was like, I should put a warning sign on that. Her relationship with her daughter Amira is stronger than ever, which I'm so happy to hear about. We find out that Drew went to Kelly's restaurant, the Sandy Springs location. That's where she had her grand opening in the season. And it's on lockdown. It no longer exists. And Drew on the TikTok video was kind of like, we were just here for a grand opening. I don't know what happened. Talk about a little shady, right? But we do see Phaedra outside the courthouse. And she's explaining that they did go to court. She was representing Kelly, and Kelly's husband was incarcerated until he pays $31,000. She's got a lot. She really does have a lot going on. You know what I mean? Drew, poor Drew. And when we've heard about what's happened in real time in Drew's life, she was ordered to leave the marital home. Ralph got it, which was like worth $2 million, and then he only has to give her like $145,000. She has to pay child support because she lost primary custody of the children. I mean, like, I'm not quite sure if that was changed or not. I think it might have been changed, but there was allegedly, I'm going to put allegedly on this. I remember hearing a question about the fact of like the kids making it to school or something. Like, Drew, like, get your act together, girl. Hello. Um, and of course, K. Michelle, she dropped her album July 31st. It's going wonderfully. I think K. Michelle is a fantastic addition to this cast. I really do. We find out that Porsha is still going strong with Sway. And of course, her Go Naked hair company is extremely successful. So what did you guys think? If you were going to rate the episode, what would you rate it? I hate to say this, but I would probably rate it a 5. I'm serious. It just fell completely flat for a finale. Like I said, the trailer for the reunion is kicking. I mean, it looks good. Now, Andy has come out, Andy Cohen, God love Andy Cohen. He's come out and said, look, number one, when it came to the reunion, he had a blast filming this. There have been rumors running around about the contracts. Allegedly, and I'm going to put allegedly on here, the contracts have been already given out for this cast. Now, Andy confirmed that the cast that you see is the cast. Now, there have been rumors about Nene taking Shamea's place. I'm not quite sure that's true. I don't like Shamea as a housewife. I think they should let her go. I mean, she's just a wonk wonk. You know what I mean? Like, she plays victim all the time. Everybody's out to get her. I mean, like, even K. Michelle with that whole plot situation, K. Michelle has come out on several interviews and said, I just got into my head. But once I think she got out of her head, she had a good time, I think. At least that's what it looks like. You know what I mean? But I think she's a good fit. Shamea's not a good fit. I mean, she really isn't. Now, when it comes to Nene, look, everybody has wanted Nene back on RHOA. Everyone. I think, this is just my opinion, this week, the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip is going to be starting, and I believe it starts out with Nene and Porsha. I think that Bravo might be watching to see how the fans react to Nene back on the screen. Will they bring her back as a full-time housewife? I don't know. They might bring her back as a friend of, if she's willing to accept a contract like that. They might maybe in talks of somehow keeping her with Bravo somehow. I'm not sure. But what Andy has confirmed is that the cast that you see is the cast for next season. I'm really hoping that's minus Shamea. No, nothing personal, girl, but this whole poor me, like, she's a wonk wonk. Shamea's a wonk wonk. Seriously. It's always poor me. I'm the victim. You know what she reminds me of when I say wonk wonk? Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore. It's poor me. Everyone's out to get me. Like, that's how I see Shamea. I'm just saying. But what do you guys think? The season is over. Now we're gearing up for this reunion. I'm telling you, this reunion looks good. I mean, listen, everybody has a problem with Shamea almost, except for Kelly. Pinky and Phaedra have a huge issue going on. I think this stems from when Pinky was running around in the beginning of the season telling everybody that Phaedra was saying she eats meat. Then Pinky ran around saying that Phaedra eats people. What was that about? So I think it kind of stems from that. K. Michelle's out. I mean, she is against Shamea. She's against Porsha. She's against Drew. She's against Angela. Like, holy crap. So I'm really looking forward to this reunion. What about you? But I love to keep these comments going, keep the conversation going with the comments down below. And don't forget, everyone, before you do, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because here we break the dish.